Hey guys, it's me, Jason, with another deck profile. We got my Jinzo deck here. I was like, I might as well show it off before they ban Imperial Order. Sorry, that was my finger there. First off, we got the Star Foil Jinzo, pretty cool from the Battle Pack, and then the other two are from the Rage of Ra that I opened. Um, we got three Jinzo, we got three Jectors, basically Jector when you contribute him and reveal your opponent's spells and traps. His name's Jinzo on the field and in the graveyard. So basically, you get him on the field, you tribute him. If your opponent has traps, you can special summon Jinzo from your deck or your hand. So yes, pretty cool. One card Jinzo, awesome support. Next, it's kind of self-explanatory. Jinzo Returner. This card used to not be so great because of the restrictions. It's like you could attack directly. Okay, when this card is at the graveyard, you could target one Jinzo in your graveyard, special summon but destroy during your end phase. Its restriction was bad, but now you don't really go into Jinzo with Returner. What you do with Returner is you get back Jector, and then you can use Jector's effect. So that's why you run three returners. You basically use the returners to get back Jector, who goes into Jinzo. So yeah, that's kind of the basic strategy of Jinzo nowadays. Another the one ofs, we got Summoner Monk. He's pretty good for getting Jector on the field. Basically you don't need to attack with Jector, you're just getting him on the field to activate his effect. And there's a bunch of spells that you don't need in this deck. You got a lot of spells, some of them will be dead, so yeah, it might as well. Summoner Monk, not a bad card. I don't know if that's banned. It might be banned. If it's banned, I'm sorry. I don't keep up with the ban lists. We got Jinzo the Machine, the Machine Menace. One, I only have one. If a trap face up on the field or in either graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do, it becomes level 6 until the end phase of this turn. During the main phase, you contribute this card, special summon Jinzo from your hand or graveyard. You can destroy all traps your opponent controls. You can only use this effect once per turn. So yeah, if you have a trap in your grave or your opponent has one, free Jinzo. This deck is very common. And then another new card for it, Psychic Bounder. Now this is actually it's like a remake of an older card, but basically it's a searcher for Jinzo. If this card is normal summon or special summon, you can add Jinzo or one spell or trap that specifically lists Jinzo and its text from your deck to your hand. So basically, it's another search. When another monster you control is attacked by an opponent's monster, before damage calculation, you can destroy both attacking monster and this card. So if they go to attack over Jinzo, you have him. They don't attack over him. It's pretty cool. It doesn't even target. So that's awesome. Next, we got three Jinzo Lords. I mean, that's again self-explanatory. A little bit more attack for Jinzo, and yeah, you can destroy traps once per turn, whereas opposed to Jinzo just destroys traps when he's summoned. And then yeah, the last monster I have, the last set of monsters we got is three Psychic Mega Cyber. If your opponent controls more spell traps than you do, you can special summon this card from your hand. So it's a free special summon to summon Jinzo with. You can only special summon Psychic Mega Cyber once per turn this day. When this card declares an attack on an opponent's effect monster while you control Jinzo, you contribute this card, place opponent's monster face up in their spell trap card zone as a continuous trap, which will be destroyed by Jinzo. So that's pretty cool. If you ever get a second effect off, it's just to complement Jinzo, which is awesome. Again, non-targeting effects are cool. Okay, now we go into their spell lineup. Of course, we got Amplifier. Amplifier is really for the shenanigans with Imperial Order. As I'll explain later, I'll probably pull Amplifier out to show the infinite loop combo that you cannot play, which is pretty funny. That's why I'm pretty sure Imperial Order is gonna get banned. Yeah, we play that for funny, for lulz. And then the next set of cards, as you all know, are all pretty self-explanatory. You got Pot of Avarice, you got Monster Reborn, you got Monster Foolish Burial. You might be like, why Foolish Burial? Well, again, just getting what's his name in the grave, Returner could get you a free Jector, or heck, just Jector. So yeah, Foolish Burial very good in this deck. We got Harpy's Feather Duster. I mean, I don't know why you'd want to destroy their traps when you, like, let's say they just make it so you can't play. Harpy's Feather Dusters always works, and Regeki always gets you out of a bind as well. So yeah, we playing all those, and if any of those you don't want to use for their immediate effects, you could just Summoner Monk with them. So yes, again, with Amplifier, very good, very good. Okay, the next one, some of these are gonna need more explanation than others, like these new Jinzo ones. But we'll start off with this one. Cosmic Channeling. Now, this card is pretty like situational. You can send one monster you control that is owned by your opponent to the graveyard, special summon a machine type from your hand or graveyard. I doubt you're ever going to be doing that when you're, but like, hey, let's say that happens, cool. When your opponent draws for their normal draw in their draw phase while you control Jinzo, you could declare one card type. Your opponent reveals that card they drew, and if it is a declared type, send this card to the graveyard, and if you do, draw a card. So it lets you get a free draw if they're going to play True Name on you. I mean, other than that, this card's pretty much Summoner Monk fodder. That's about it. I doubt you'll ever use it for what it's intended. Cyber Energy Shock. That's a new Jinzo card. If you control Jinzo, target one card on the field, destroy it. Then if it was a trap, you can apply one of these effects, negate the effects of one face-up card on the field at the end of the turn. Or all Jinzo you control gain 800 attack. So, again, pretty situational. I doubt they'll be activating traps while you control Jinzo, or they have a trap on the field while you control Jinzo, because a lot of these Jinzos destroy the traps. So, again, Summoner Monk fodder. That's not really helpful. The next card, though, is extremely helpful. We got Law of the Cosmos here. Now, Law of the Cosmos just makes it so you could play. Like, if your opponent decides to, like, oh, I'm not going to draw my traps, your opponent can set one trap directly from their hand or deck. Then, if they did, special summon Jinzo from your deck. If they did not, add a Jinzo from your or monster that specifically lists that card and its text from your deck to your hand. So basically anything. It's a search for anything. That's what's going to happen. Your opponent's not going to go for a trap, and if they do, they're insane. Or they're playing 3-win for skill drain, not knowing not knowing that skill drain was probably getting negated by Jinzo. That's a good question. I don't know who would negate first. Judge. Then the next card we got is Everlasting Alloy. If you control Jinzo, it's a quick play. If you control Jinzo, activate one of these effects. All machine cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects until the end of turn, or when a card or effect is activated that targets, negate that effect. Okay, so basically, if they go to remove your Jinzo, you could keep them from being destroyed, or you could keep them from being targeted by like pop effects that send them back to your hand. So again, pretty good card. Run 3 of those. Again, even if you don't use it, Summoner Monk fodder. So pretty good. And finally, finishing up our spells, we got the one, the only quick play limiter removal. You want 3 of these because Jinzo is weak. They're going to try to attack over him or activate a monster effect. So basically, you want to hope their monster effect is just destroying or targeting them and not like tributing him. But if not, we still got 3 limiter removal. If they try to attack over him, it's not going to happen. And they're going to feel very bad, especially if the Jinzo does go to the grave. From that, you're going to be able to get him back with Jector or many other cards to do it. Finally, we get to the traps, and yes, you run traps with the Jinzo deck. 3 Psychic Shockwave. This card, when your opponent activates a trap card, discard a spell trap, special summon Dark Machine type from your deck. Again, I highly doubt you're going to be activating this. I don't know why I run 3. It's very hopeful, you know. Again, if your opponent's running a heavy trap deck like Paleo or something, and they don't trap tricks and they don't expect you to run this deck, you're pretty much gonna win. You probably don't need this. It's just a win harder card. Um, and finally, the one, the only, the Imperial Order that's probably gonna get banned. And yes, I run Imperial Order, and that's pretty funny because it basically negates all spell cards on the field, and Amplifier allows your Jinzo to. So basically, the conundrum, the infinite play loop is Amplifier activating, Imperial Order activating, negating Amplifier, which makes it so this would be negated, and then the Amplifier would activate. Basically, the infinite loop, which you can't basically play Imperial Order while there's Amplifier on test to your Shinzo. But hey, you could activate it any other time, and that's pretty strong. Imperial Order is really strong against a lot of decks that run fusion and fusion type monsters. Um, spell heavy decks are a thing. Like, look at this deck. It's pretty much a spell heavy deck. If you're gonna run a mirror match, you're gonna want Imperial Order in your Jinzo deck because they're going to be trying to activate spell cards and monster effects. If there's a way to negate monster effects, I was thinking of running Dark Ruler no more, but the problem with the Dark Ruler no more is it's too limiting. The drawbacks are too much. You want to essentially OTK, and you're not going to be doing that when you activate the dark. You know what I mean? It's not really good lock, and you want to effect. I was thinking about running effect veiler or anything because that is probably the best you'll get besides infinite and permanence. But again, that's a trap card. You don't want to run too many trap cards. So yes, it's a conundrum. Negate the how do you negate the whole my question is, how do you negate the monster effects? That's a good question. Anyone comes up with a way to negate monster effects with Jinzo, please tell me, and I will be definitely adding that to the deck and working it like that. But yeah, that is my Jinzo deck. It's hilarious, it's funny, it's great because it's an old timey classic. Jinzo. We all love him. He's a cool card. He's one of my favorites when I first started playing. Um, yeah. So, yeah, look at the Starfoil version of him. He's pretty cool. Got that out of a battle pack a long time ago in hopes that he would get support, and he finally did. So, yeah, we have a Jinzo deck. And that's about it, guys. Yeah. I wish I could have made this deck better. I mean, I do have Cyber Dragon and Cyber Nova Dragon, but again, I don't want to just make here. I didn't want to just add these guys because like the problem is it just becomes at that point a cyber dragon, a cyber infinity dragon deck that happens to also run Jinzo, and I just don't want to do it honestly. I mean, there's a lot of you can see there's a lot of good support for, you know what I mean, the strategy, getting to it and stuff. Well, the machine of Machina fortresses aren't part of it, but you know what I mean. Cyber Dragon strategies again are really probably the only way you could stop monster effects with this deck, and any sane person would run them. But I just didn't want to run another Cyber Dragon Infinity deck. You know what I mean? That's running Galaxy Soldier and Cyber Dragon and getting that turn one and then getting Jinzo is it becomes a Cyber Dragon Infinity deck, and it's just I'm bored of playing that. You know what I mean? The stall and hope they don't have kaiju's, which they're gonna have kaiju's, and then you're gonna cry anyways. Whereas with this, I feel like this deck has a lot more comeback ability. You'll be able to come back when they give you a kaiju, and yeah, because traps, like I said, are really strong right now, and so are spells. So Imperial Order is very everyone's thinking it's gonna get banned. So I'm like, yeah, I better post my deck profile before it does get banned, and it's pretty much not a deck anymore. All right, so you guys have a nice day. Jason is out.